views and opinions of the host and guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Uber Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to Uber Radio Network.
You are obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
A lie. No man is obsolete.
You have no function, Mr. Wordsworth. You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
I am nothing more than a reminder to you that you cannot destroy truth by burning pages.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect. An ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
You're a librarian, Mr. Wordsworth. You're books and 2-cent fines and pamphlets and closed stacks on the musty insides of a language factory that spews out meaningless words on an assembly line. Words, Mr. Wordsworth, that have no substance and no dimension, like air, like a wind, like a vacuum that you make believe has an existence by scribbling index numbers on little cards.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
Welcome to Political Truth Radio. Prepare yourself to be informed.
And welcome everybody to Political Truth Radio. I'm joined by my wonderful, fantastic host, Jennifer Wheeler. Jennifer, how you doing?
Aw, I'm good, actually. A lot better this week.
Yeah, you sound much better. You sounded like death last week when I talked to you, so...
Thank you.
Well, hey, you didn't kick the bucket, so you're still here this week, so that's a good thing.
Yes, here to wreak havoc again.
And I'm sure we are with tonight's subjects that we're going to cover. We are going to wreak some havoc. I'm sure of it. Don't you think?
More than likely. But hey, you know, it's a good thing. People need to have their toes stepped on once in a while. I try to make sure mine are stepped on at least once a day.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I wanted to start. I wanted to jump right into this and get started because we've got a few small subjects I just want to bring up, you know, and then we've got our big one that we're going to talk about, which is basically Islam and what the Islamic religion is trying to do in the United States that a lot of people are most probably not really aware of what's going on. And that's something that we really have to talk about. But first of all, I don't know how many of you go out there and get any of your political news from The Blaze. You know, raise your hands. Okay. If you get, I used to get some stuff from The Blaze. I was actually in there last week, and they had a big story up. They were so proud of it that they are now going to be getting, they're teaming up with Yahoo News. And I don't know if any of you are aware, but Yahoo News is a major globalist organization. They are proponents of the fake global warming, the whole ball of wax, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, you're not going to get the real news from The Blaze anymore with Yahoo News involved. So I wanted to pass that along to anybody who may not have seen that article and actually goes to The Blaze once in a while to check it out. Ta-da! Public service message. What, you're laughing at me, Jennifer? Why? Why are you laughing?
Recent reminder of the FEMA taking over our radio stations.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful, isn't it? And it was a big failure. So now they know where to attack, so that the next time they want to take them over and shut them all down, there won't be any loopholes. Aren't we happy?
Oh, it's always good to be prepared.
Yeah, well, yeah, preparing for the takeover of the United States. That's a real good thing. Anyway, yeah, well, another thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm not sure how many of you saw it this weekend, but I wanted to bring it up real quick, was the latest Ron Paul snubbing that's been going on since our last show. Last Wednesday we had Bill O'Reilly, who did a show he was going to talk about the candidates, and he actually had put up a straw poll for the GOP candidates. And when Ron Paul walked away with it with 75% of the votes, he decided to take the poll down and then disqualify him from the poll because he got too many votes. And Bill O'Reilly actually even said that, because too many people voted for him, that he pulled the poll and eliminated him, disqualified him, and Herman Cain turned out to be the big winner. So, there you go. That was that one. And then Thursday night, there was another debate. Who did that one, Jennifer? Do you remember? Was that CNBC? I think Thursdays.
For Thursday?
Yeah, Thursdays. I believe that was CNBC, and of course they did the typical poll after the debate. Who do you think won the poll? Well, Ron Paul won that poll again, and when he won that poll, what did they do? They immediately removed the poll from their website and refused to talk about it. Then we had no snubbing going on Friday, but then Saturday we had the big CBS poll or debate, which was an hour and a half long, where they decided that they were going to give Ron Paul only 90 seconds to talk in an hour and a half debate. He had 90 seconds. Boy, that's amazing. But
I know.
But here's the funny thing: they put up a poll, of course. Who do you think won the debate? And guess who won the poll? Ron Paul. Who else? He won the poll, and he only got to talk for 89 seconds. He was allowed to talk for 89 seconds, and he still won the poll. So that's got to tell you something about popularity, and more and more people are swinging around to Ron Paul because they, quite frankly, support America and the Constitution and don't like the shredding of the Constitution that's going on now. Simple as that. All right. Now, Jennifer, I think we should go into the next thing that's going to be a little shocking for a lot of people, that I'm sure that most people listening out there right now have no clue is even happening. And I'll let you pick up the ball and start running with the Constitution-free zone.
Oh, that is such a fun subject. Okay. Well, first off, we should understand that the Constitution-free zone is exactly what it sounds like. Unfortunately, there's no Bill of Rights. Obviously no amendments, nothing along those lines. So anything that would be considered protection for the American people is null and void. Just so you know, the Constitution-free zone, it borders around the entire United States. And when I say border, I want to make sure I clarify this. That does not mean the border between, Mexico and the United States and Canada and the United States. It is literally as if you were a child drawing an outline. That's more so a description, of our United States, of course, including Hawaii and Alaska. This border is equivalent, if you could pin it on a map, but it is about 100 miles from the outside, of our outline to the inside. And unfortunately, Brian, I believe you're considered in that Constitution-free zone.
Yes, I am. I am absolutely in the Constitution-free zone, and it's scary. It really is, but only to a degree, because now here's one thing I want to make a point of real quick while we're talking about this. And basically what I want to tell people is, in the United States of America, you are not required to follow any law that is frivolous or illegal. Okay? The Constitution-free zone is illegal. Okay? I want everybody to know that. This is an illegal act. It is in violation of the Constitution of the United States of America. It is highly illegal, which means that no American out there has to follow it. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, the unfortunate side of that is you have to be prepared and just letting people know the unfortunate truth. And you can pull up YouTube videos, documents, probably talk to anybody that you know that, for lack of a better phrase, has been screwed over by the justice system. And of course, what I mean by that is that they're not protected by their original rights. For example, if you try to record any police activity, yeah, you're probably going to get some version of, excuse me, your camera taken away, smashed, beat up, arrested, maced. There's another one. It's really, truly unfortunate the way this is working. And you have to understand again that, you know, it falls into, you know, denial, due process, denial of the right to counsel, you know, habeas corpus, other principles, everything that follows through the Constitution, Bill of Rights, everything that is here to protect the people. And it's not, you have to understand, it's not just an idea that they just decided to come up with. This is something that, and unfortunately, the beginning of 2001, which seems somewhat coincidence, seeing as 9/11 happened in September, but the beginning of 2001, we began building this prison in Iraq. I say we, it was actually the CIA that did it. And now we have, of course, in 2005, I know it was in 8 countries. The CIA had what they're called black sites. But they're prisons for people who are suspected terrorists. Interestingly enough, there's no proof of this. There's no proof of them being terrorists, but they're being held. And the reason that they're in other countries, for example, Cuba, the reason they are in other countries is they are not held to the same, to the same rules, the same laws. You know, they're not held to the Constitution to not torture people. You know, they have to feed them. You know, those lovely things that we take for granted. Those people who are kept in these prisons, they're not allowed anything like that.
Right. Well, you know, and the thing is that people have to understand. See, the Constitution-free zone is something that was born out of the Patriot Act. Okay, the Patriot Act. If anybody out there thinks the Patriot Act was introduced to get rid of terrorism, then you need to rethink it, because it's not. It was all designed and all meant for controlling the American people. That's what the Patriot Act is for. In fact, that's what 9/11 was designed for, was to scare people into giving up their rights and liberties so that they will be more willing to hand over this power to the government so that the government can oppress the American people. And that is what all of this is about. You've got the Patriot Act was started under the Bush administration and had some build-ons to it during their administration. And then, being you've got Bush and Obama all work for the same people, you've got Obama, who slid right in there 2.5 years ago, slid right in and kept building on to the Patriot Act. And that's what has brought all of this stuff about. And it's all about oppressing the American people. Why do you think the TSA is groping people at airports? You know, why is the TSA sending out their Viper teams to pat search people on highways? Why are they starting to put TSA agents at the entrance to malls? It's not about fighting terrorism. You know, it's like I've heard a million times, you have a better chance of dying from a bee sting than you do a terrorist attack. Okay? If we totally pulled the plug on every bit of this stuff and said, you know, okay, terrorists, do your worst, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. If we stop the government from doing terrorist acts upon us, there won't be all this terrorism. Sure, you're going to get a wacko once in a while that might do something goofy, but you know what? The fact of the matter is, it's not going to be something that we don't have to be afraid of an Al-Qaeda hiding under every rock. It doesn't work that way. And it's not going to be that way.
Oh, now remember, Brian, that according to the government, forms of terrorists actually look like Americans.
Well, this is true, and I remember that. I don't suppose you still have the link and can post it in the chat room, do you?
You keep talking.